Hello and welcome to the next lesson. In the last lesson, we went over a few techniques that can help you learn and grow faster. The practice of keeping it simple in your journal. Now in this lesson, we're going to be going over and learning how to become aware of something we're all familiar with. Fear. If you've ever felt stuck thinking about your last mistake or worrying about what's going to happen next, that's fear. We all have it. It's nothing to be ashamed about. Maybe it's thinking about your last at bat, your past, or now thinking about, well, what's going to happen next? What if I do it again? I really want to stress this. You're not alone. However, the best players in the world, they don't avoid thoughts like this, the what ifs. They just know how to snap back in the present moment. And we're going to tackle that together. Together, we're going to work on developing what NextStars calls your very own superpower. This lesson covers the first tool in building your own superpower. This first tool will be your very own activation switch. Think about it as like a light switch. When you enter a room, turn it on, now you can do whatever you want, whatever you need to do. This tool is called your cue. I'll have you know I didn't fully understand this until college. I constantly was thinking about my last at-bat or worried about what if I failed again. I was playing the game everywhere except where it actually happens right now in the present moment. And that's what this lesson's all about. Learning to play in the now, in the moment. This will help you unlock the first tool of your superpower. Fear lives in two places, the past mistakes and the future what ifs. But when you return to the present, you can play free. So there's this guy named Michael Jordan, one of the greatest to ever play the game of basketball. He has 6 NBA championships, and he has a 5-time league MVP. He said this, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and this is why I succeed." That quote changed the way I viewed performance in baseball. If you can stay present and focus on the moment, even when you failed over and over again, just like Michael did, you can get to your goal. Because when you play in the present, you react quicker, you play looser, and you stop fearing failure. Great players aren't perfect at avoiding the fear of failure. They just have trained themselves to stay in the moment. Remember, we want to keep it simple and focus on one thing at a time. We want to focus on one at-bat. That's it. Now you know what it means to be present and the reason why we want to stay present as much as we can during this game. It's time to go over your tool, your cue. A cue is a physical action like tapping your bat against your cleats, adjusting your helmet, tightening your batting gloves, or tugging on your jersey sleeve. It's like an activation switch that tells your body it's go time. This, my friend, is the first step in performing your superpower. So let's learn to activate it by turning on the light switch. I want to give you an example of somebody famous who did this, a Hall of Famer named Ichiro Suzuki. He used to tug on his jersey sleeve and point his bat at the pitcher every single at-bat. It wasn't just a habit, this was his cue, letting his mind and body know he was ready to compete. There is actually research done that show how your body and brain can sync up when you use a cue. Again, it's like flipping a light switch. It tells your body that you're ready to perform. Here are a few other examples of cues. Tugging your sleeve, drawing a cross in the dirt, tapping your cleats together, squeezing the bat handle for 3 seconds, tapping on your helmet 3 times, tightening batting gloves before you step into the box. Real quick, I want you to write this down in your journal. Write all of them down so you can choose one later for yourself. You can pause the video to give yourself a moment to do this. This becomes your light switch before each at-bat. Every time you sense fear or thinking about past mistakes, you can use your cue to anchor yourself in the present moment and remind your mind and body that you got this. Before you get into the batter's box, you're prepping your mind and body to start your superpower engine. Remember, keep it simple. I want you to write this down in your journal. Write tool number 1 equals your cue. And then underneath that, I want you to write Y and then equals the light switch to start the superpower engine. Stay in the moment. For me, it was always drawing a cross in the dirt outside the batter's box before each at-bat. And I actually also drew a cross on the infield before each inning behind me at third base. I trained my cue until it was automatic and it felt weird not doing it. When I attached it to the other tools that we'll learn in future lessons, I felt focused, I felt calm, I felt confident, like I could handle whatever came my way. Have you ever played a video game and it starts lagging? Your character's glitching, nothing's smooth, it's annoying, it causes you to lose, causes frustration. I know I have. That's what it's like when you're stuck in the past or worried about the future. But when you activate your cue, it's like drinking a magic potion. You become strong, the lag disappears, you're back in the zone and ready to go for whatever comes next. That's what your cue does. It brings you back to right now, where the game is actually happening. You're doing amazing sticking with me. This tool can be a game changer if you stay locked in. Do me a favor, stand up real quick. We're gonna keep the blood flowing and do 5 push-ups. You better hurry up. We're gonna get going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So back in college, I struggled with this a lot. I remember a game where I struck out in a huge moment, and instead of shaking it off, I actually just carried it with me. My body language was terrible, my confidence was shot, and mentally, I wasn't even in the game anymore. It wasn't just one at-bat, it affected everything. I felt trapped inside my own head, replaying the mistake, worrying about letting my teammates and parents down. It felt heavy, it felt lonely. I didn't have a routine in place to be present again. If I had learned this tool earlier, it might have helped me bounce back quicker and stay in the game mentally. Imagine growing up and learning how to stay present and not carrying your mistakes with you. That's what we're working on together right now. You being here and learning how to create your superpower, you're setting yourself up for success. Once you realize that failure is a part of the game, failing actually becomes easier. You stop fearing it so much. When you use your cue, you can fail faster and get back to success more often. You hear players and coaches say, shake it off, and this is what they mean. Let it go, get back to the present moment. The first tool, the cue, locks you into the engine starting phase of your superpower. Then you can be ready for your next tool. Being present isn't just about baseball, it's a life skill. Remember, when we're in the present moment, that's where your training shows up, when we perform the best. No thoughts of past at-bats or past errors, future what-ifs. You're in the present moment playing free and you're ready to compete. The more you practice being in the present moment, the better we do at our task. So whenever your head starts racing and you're overthinking, use your cue. Get yourself back to the present moment. You've written it down in your journal, and now you can always look back to remember it before games. In the next lesson, we'll be going over the second tool of your superpower, something really special that will calm you in tense moments. For example, stepping into the batter's box in a championship game. Remember, we're gonna be going over each tool one by one, and then at the end, we're gonna tie them in together so you can use them for maximum effectiveness. Like I said in the beginning, keep it simple. Make sure to write these tools down in your journal. And when you write them down, you're gonna remember them easier. Make sure to take the quiz below before moving on. We wanna make sure you remember this stuff before you move on to the next lesson. See you soon.